Oh, I should have started recording right away because your response was amazing.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Those Two Geeks. He's Alex. I'm Joe. It's a Saturday. I was going to say November, but we're not there yet. Yeah, he was alluding to, he said that, he opened up the call with, I've been spending too much time playing Spider-Man 2. That game is fucking amazing. I've never seen a sequence like the opening sequence.
Oh,
Right? That is so much fun. Like, Sandman's, I wouldn't say he's an A-list villain. He's a B-tier villain. But no one writes him that good.
no.
No one produces him that good on a movie. This is how Sandman should be.
It's because Sandman is, realistically, he's too powerful for Spider-Man.
Right.
Because of what he can do. Like, I think the only limitations on Sandman are his own intelligence and what he can do, in theory, like we've seen in the comics in What Ifs or whatever, where he'll turn to sand and just clog up Spider-Man's lungs. Right. So I think the only way you can realistically write Sandman as a credible threat, antagonist, whatever, is when he's a reluctant antagonist, where he's not really a villain. Right. Or where he's nowhere near as powerful as he is now, like where he can control sand like Pyro, maybe turn into a sand a little bit like Iceman does with ice, where he can move around on it, but at the end of the day, he's still a man in the sand.
It's just the way they did it was so brilliant.
So good. So we obviously, the game came out Friday. It is Saturday. We haven't delved too much into it. I do know there are people that have finished it already.
Oh my god!
Because that's what people do, right? Like if you got a digital version of it, which I did not, you can basically same. Like as soon as midnight hits, you can start playing it, and people play it all night. And like, you know what? I basically did that. Like I finished work, and I turned it on, and then my wife went out for a work thing. I'm like, well, that's a perfect excuse. So I sat there till gone midnight playing Spider-Man. And then I woke up this morning, I'm like, oh, what am I going to do? It's raining out. I could run in the rain, or I could play Spider-Man and not get wet.
Yeah, I think you made the wise choice, sir.
I think so. So I'm not, again, like we don't want to talk too much about spoilers. Like I'm going to assume at this point you've done the opening sequence, so we can.
Only the opening sequence. I'm at the point where, Craven just did the vignette. That's it.
Yeah. Okay.
And man, what a take on Craven too.
Oh, isn't it great?
Look, these guys like the comic books.
Yeah, like it's.
The other thing is too, I love. I'm sorry. The Peter and Miles relationship is fucking fantastic.
It's really good. Like I'm obviously a bit further in than you, but it's like it's one of those things that my friend he messaged me this morning. So how's Spider-Man? You know what? I hate. This is going to sound negative, and it's not meant this way. I was like, I hate to say it, but the gameplay is exactly what if you've played the first one or the second one. Yeah. There's honestly no major improvement aside from the new traversal mechanic, the web wings. Other than that, like and I think that's what's good is other than that, if you've already played Spider-Man, you know exactly what you're in for.
It's brilliant though. It doesn't need any improvement.
No, but that's just it. Like that's the thing. When I say, oh, is it much better? I'm like, do you know what? This is a game that you're actually playing for the story more than anything else, and it's like a progression of the story from Miles Morales, from Spider-Man to, all of these things that if you've followed the Spider-Man PlayStation story, you're gonna really enjoy the game.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it goes from Spider-Man to Miles Morales to Spider-Man 2. Yeah. So if you've played all three, it's I have all three. I've never finished Spider-Man 1 though. That's the thing. Like I got to go back and finish that. And I never finished.
You really do.
This is just, I don't know. For me, this is so enthralling. This is just like, so good.
So right now, I love Spider-Man 1. And Miles Morales did actually make some notable improvements upon the gameplay and the tricking out, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I also really, really like the more local, like the more neighborhood setting of Miles Morales, because it was almost all within Harlem. You could go throughout the entire city, obviously, but Miles Morales was clearly much more of I'm in Harlem, it's around Christmas time. It just felt more like a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Yep. Whereas this one, it's they're everywhere. And I mean, like, I didn't realize, like, when you're playing Spider-Man and Miles Morales, like, the map is massive. Mm-hmm. When you're playing Spider-Man 2, they've doubled the size of the map because they have Brooklyn and Queens in it. And it's like, holy fuck, how much bigger is this map? And it doesn't feel small, and you can navigate around it really quickly. Yeah. So I'm like, is it actually smaller? Is there less of the map? There's no way that they would do less of the map. They just added more to it, which is absolutely nuts.
Yeah, dude, it is just bonkers awesome. Yeah. I'm so impressed with it. And like, I'm excited. I'm going to the new place tonight for 3 days. And then next weekend is the official move in for good. Mm-hmm. I was like, I'm just going to leave my PS5 here tonight and come back and get it. Like, I might be bringing this with me for the weekend because it's just like, I shut it off so we could record. Yeah. Like, the game is just so damn good. Like, the opening of it.
I'm about, based on the collectibles and the story, it looks like I'm about 25% of the way through.
Wow. You were playing it that long?
I mean, the thing is that for me, it was more a case of, like, you know how it happens. There's always going to be, oh, hey, there's this collectible thing is opened up. So then I go around. I don't actually think I've progressed the story that much, if I'm honest.
Okay. See, I'm the opposite. I'm just all story play. I don't give a damn about collectibles. Me doesn't care about collectibles.
That is an ironic statement. It's because I always like unlocking the suits, and when you do certain missions, you get certain tokens. So, oh, hey, you can get this token to unlock the suit or the gadget or whatever. So that's usually what I do. Or I'll be swinging by. I'm like, oh, there's a thing over here. What's that? Oh, there's a thing over here. What's that?
So, segueing from Spider-Man 2, because we don't want to do spoilers.
No, we'll talk about it a lot later, and as the weeks go on. But I think it's wise right now that first impressions right now, we haven't played a huge amount of it, but it is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. So segueing from that to another collectible. In a few days, we're coming to the close of a campaign, but I was going to open up with, and the point is lost now, but I was going to say, is Giant Man a giant Jean Grey, or is it going to just go up in smoke? Because it's starting to progress.
You know what? We're at 68 right now. It's actually, you know how we've always been optimistic that it'll fund for the people who want it.
Yeah.
We've also, I think initially I was thought, hey, revealing all of the tiers early is a really good idea.
Yeah, I keep changing my mind on that
now. I don't necessarily think changing your mind on it is I don't disagree with revealing the tiers early. I just think that they should have had
a figure or two.
I think they should have the Wasp that they recently revealed should have been included in even if it was just in the final photograph where you've got the Wasp in the background as the reveal, and so you kind of leave it ambiguous maybe. But yeah, I just think that
that saw the effect of the Wasp. It's definitely started it progressing more.
I agree. And I think if you'd have revealed the Wasp earlier, or you had her as when we were talking about the Engine of Vengeance, and you have Mephisto makes sense with Ghost Rider vaguely, right? Madeline Pryor did not.
No.
Damon Hellstrom
did.
I mean, he didn't. That he's the son of Satan. I don't necessarily think he would have. I think Vengeance would have made more sense.
Vengeance would have made more sense. Now, what was the other tier? Was it Blackheart?
Nope.
Who was the other tier?
I don't know. It was someone. I'm here now. I'm on the page now.
So wow. I don't even remember the other tier. I know Robbie Reyes as a human was an early bird.
He was an early bird and obviously didn't fund.
But who was the other figure? There was 4, weren't there?
There were.
So it was Madeline Pryor, Mephisto, Damien Hellstrom. Who was the friggin' 4th? Or was it just 3?
So it's Madeline Pryor. See, Damien Hellstrom looks really good. I kind of wish we'd have got him. I mean, we'll get him at some point. It's easy. No matter what. No, that was it. That was it. Mephisto was 12,000, and he was the first tier revealed.
Yeah.
Then you had Hellstrom. Then Madeline Pryor was at 10,000. So the backers were from 10 to 12,000. So it was just once you got it funded, you would have had it really quickly.
Yeah, I was in for Mephisto and Madeline Pryor. That's what made me back right away. I was like, I'm in.
Yeah.
Mephisto made me back. I was like, I'm in. But it wasn't to be. This doesn't have the same feel though. This isn't like. I would say if we crack 7,000 by tomorrow afternoon.
Do you know what? It's gone up significantly.
Yeah, the push
in the last day. It's gone up almost 1,000 in the last day.
Yeah, if it cracks 7,000 between today and tomorrow afternoon, I say it's going to fund. Because it will be one of those, you won't see it on the marker, but once the thing closes, it will have funded. And that's what I think is going to happen. It will fund. But I'm going to tell you and drop a bomb on you right now. I'm backing out.
Okay, so before I ask you why, I need to correct myself because yesterday it was at 64.11 and it's at 68.60. I thought it was at 58 yesterday, so I was wrong on that. Anyway, so why are you backing out?
So I'm going to roll the dice that if this thing does get backed, I'm going to just purchase it later because it does not seem like it's going to be one of those that's going to be like Sentinel pricing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
or Arch pricing. I think I could get it for 300. And I'll tell you why I backed out. One, it's really bad timing with the campaign ending with all the bills
and you're moving, right? So you're on the hook for double rent for a month, I'm sure.
Yep. But 2, I ordered the Hot Toys Spider-Man 2 Venom.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
Guess what? That thing is 20 inches.
Yeah, I did. I saw it was 50 some centimeters, and I had to. At first, I thought, "Holy fuck, that's 50 inches!" No, wait, this is a that is not. Could you imagine 4 foot?
That would be like your mate walking around with you. Yeah,
it's like you could put a clothing on that, and it wouldn't be baby clothes.
Oh, holy shit, that would be insane. That would be like $7,000, $8,000. But dude, no. 20 inches. It's 2 inches under Giant Man.
Yeah.
And it is stellar. And I always knew, I'm like, I'm in if they do a Venom. Because I got the Peter on order. I'm like, if they do a Venom, I'm in 110%. So they did it. And it's bad timing when they did it. And I didn't want to take the opportunity or lose the opportunity to get it. Because you have to lock it in. I'm like, this thing could sell out. I'm like, I'm just going to plunk it on the 45. Plus, I had sideshow points, which knocked it down over $100 more. So I'm like, really? I'm only paying like $70 more than Giant Man? And no one can convince me. I'm sorry. Yes, the HasLab is really nice and beautiful. It ain't that fucking Venom. It ain't.
The thing is, too, I think, from your perspective and the HasLab, is that you don't know if the HasLab is actually going to fund.
Yeah.
Whereas you do know that they're making Venom.
Yeah, and it's not integral to my collection, like you said. Yes, I want a Giant Man, but I've over like the last month of all the new things that have been announced and that I've been hunting and chasing, like, it's just not that integral. Like,
yeah, no, I agree.
Super fussed and like cry if I don't have Giant Man, because I still have my Avengers. I still have everything I need. I'm sorry, my dog is being a brat, but you know, I have all that stuff, and I know for sure he'll be stopped the trading. He'll be sold on the aftermarket, and he's not going to be the hardest thing in the world to get.
And the thing, I think the thing is too, is that you've got this Giant Man, the Build-A-Figure Giant Man already, right? So it's not like you're in dire need of, oh, if I haven't got this Giant Man, it's no Giant Man at all. There isn't another Sentinel. There isn't another Galactus. No, really, like they had them, right? They had. Yeah, I think so. Like they had the Marvel Universe Galactus.
Yes,
right? Like, but he was a touch too small for what he needed to be. And whereas now you have the Legends Galactus, which is exactly what people want him to be.
He's fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, to me, he is their masterpiece. He's their piece de resistance.
Yeah, exactly. He agrees.
Yeah, I'm gonna let him out while we're on the phone. I'm just gonna take you off speaker. But yeah, no, you can't beat Galactus.
No. I mean, I really don't think you can. Yeah, no, I don't think you can.
Yeah, and the thing is too, like, you can't beat Galactus, and you can't like, I don't know who else is that integral that I need. Like if I sold 50% of my Marvel Legends, I'm still keeping Galactus. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And he still makes my collection. Whereas if I sold 50% of my collection and I kept Giant Man, he's gonna look cool. But if I sold my Avengers, like, forget it. He's done.
No, I get it. And like, as someone who doesn't have an Avengers collection, like I have Thor and Captain America and the Hulk. And the Hulk is more because I wanted to pose him fighting Wolverine every so often. Right?
Yeah, like, and that's the thing. Let's say I sold my Fantastic Four. Let's say they went up in like insane pricing and they were worth like $300 a piece. And I sold them. Like, my X-Men can still go against Galactus. Spider-Man can go against Galactus. Like, and he makes or breaks the collection. It's just perfect. But no, I'm backing out because the timing's just shit. And I'm gonna roll the dice and take a risk that he's not gonna be that hard to purchase when he does hit, if he gets funded. Because you got to remember, I take this thing out now. They take out the 220 or whatever it is with the tax. They take that out on Friday. I mean, they take that thing out Monday morning, the moment the clock strikes midnight. They never fail. So, and I'm out of that money for over a year. So I can either do one or two things. I can know that this thing isn't coming for at least a year and put aside like $300 and spend an extra $100 for the markup. Or, because I don't think it's going to go much higher than $300. I think it's going to be like the other HasLab. Do you know what one I'm talking about? The Transformers one?
Yeah, it didn't go up super high.
Victory Saber?
Yep.
Yeah, my cousin bought two of them because, like, hey, it was smart money because, you know, all the HasLabs prior to that one were doubling or tripling on the aftermarket. So he bought two. He's been sitting on Victory Saber for 2 years now, because he couldn't even get rid of it for price, like for trade-in. And so I think Giant Man's going to be one of those.
Yeah, like it's not. I think the thing is with again, I don't follow Transformers, so I don't know how desired Victory Saber is or was.
I think he's cool, but Deathosaurus will probably double because I ordered Deathosaurus. That should be coming soon. Deathosaurus, he just looks cooler.
Yeah.
Freaking name is way better.
That's just it. The name is fantastic, but he's not like a Unicron to me, where the name is just, you know who Unicron is.
Yeah. So I'm rolling the dice, and there's just too much stuff to collect. Like, I just started collecting the Batman animated reruns from McFarlane. I have the Chase Scarecrow. I sent you that the other day.
Yeah.
I have the Batman. I will say this though, people collecting it, pretty figures. Not as the Batman isn't as good as the original DC Collectibles one. It has better articulation, but it's not as good because the cell shading. I mean, I don't know what the fuck Todd did on the cell shading. Like, they took a class on cell shading and really screwed it up. They looked at the Legends VHS figures and was like, we can fuck that up worse. Like, it's just, oh my God, man.
Do you know what? The cell shading is actually why I didn't. I looked at the line. I'm like, nope.
Robin looks like he pissed his pants.
Yeah, like the Legends one, it's very subtle, so it doesn't have to be.
Except for Cyclops, it's all over Cyclops. It's so prevalent, but I love Cyclops.
See, I don't have Cyclops. I have Wolverine.
He's one of my favorite figures of the year.
Understandable, so because he's the version of Cyclops we all want, right? Like,
he's perfect. The buck,
body,
the pins,
exactly.
Everything. It's beautiful.
So, but yeah, so I've got Bishop from the 97 wave.
And, you did get him.
I did. Yeah. Well, I figured that I don't have a Bishop. I don't imagine they're going to re-release one anytime soon, and he's going to work for me.
I like the long-haired Bishop better, but
same. But
you can always get the head, I guess. I don't know.
Like, there's always a way to work around it. And the thing is, he's probably going to go in the back of the display, so it's not going to be as noticeable anyway. And then there's the Wolverine just looks fantastic as is. So,
he's so good. You already have him?
Yeah, not in hand. He's at the show. The pre-orders came in the day after I was. I was
find him anywhere.
We sold out before they even hit the shelves.
Dude, the shelves are full of Magneto and Gambit.
Mm-hmm.
And Gambit was hard for me to find at first. Like, I went to 3 stores and I was like, oh my God, I found Gambit. Now I trip over Gambit. Wolverine, Rogue, you can't find at all. You can find Bishop, Gambit, and Bishop, Gambit, and Magneto are all over the shelves. You can find them, no problem.
Which is funny to me because I know Magneto is hard to find in terms of a single release figure that people like. Too. Yeah. He's not good enough that I would want to get him over what I already have.
Yep.
And the only reason I'm getting the Wolverine is because I have the I need every Wolverine figure current.
Yeah, because you're a Wolverine freak. You need to have, and that's fine. That's me with Batman.
Right. So like I'm just like my
Batman.
that actually is fantastic.
Oh, dude, the Todd McFarlane Santa Batman is just great in the package. He's so great. Like, I just got him the other day. So again, the tangent aside, like there's just so much stuff to collect. There always is, but this year even more so. Like, it just seems like they're more and more,
Yeah,
and like
right
now, right. So I've got stuff to collect, and it's like Giant Man he's first of all, he's not coming for at least a year, if he's coming at all. So I just would rather have that 220 in my bank come Monday morning than just going into next week. And plus, Rhode Island Comic-Con is in 2 weeks. Like, I'd like to go there for about $1,000. So, I mean, I don't want to have to be scraping for a figure that I'm waiting for, that it's going to be forever.
Mm-hmm. And I
have to make some hard cuts.
I think too, what we need to recognize is that logistically, if you're going to wait to buy Giant Man, assuming he funds and you want to get him on the aftermarket, and assuming he's going to be about $300, you could put the $220 that you were going to pay for him in, you can invest it, and you might get most of that $300 as a return in dividends before you get. I'm not telling you how to do this because I don't know how to do this.
Yeah.
But you might be able to turn that $220 into $300 pretty quickly, or at the very least, by the time he actually is available on the aftermarket, you might have the money, right?
Like I said,
and it theoretically wouldn't cost you anymore, but in this case, the money's working for you as opposed to it being in Hasbro's bank.
Yeah, and here's the thing, like, I think it's going to fund. At this point, I do. I think it's going to be a very slim margin it funds by.
Mm-hmm. It's gone up 2 and down 1 since we've been talking. It's back up to 1. Back up to 1 now. So it was at 68, then it went to 69, 68, 69 to 70, then it went down to 69 again. Now it's back up to 7. I'm
going to back out too. So we'll go down. But no, I mean, listen, the Venom, have you seen it?
I saw a picture.
Dude,
I think you showed it. I think you showed it to me.
Oh, fucking beautiful. Like, it's just beautiful, man. So, yeah. No, it's undeniable. And Venom has to go with the Peter. But I got the symbiote Peter. So I'm like, do I need the regular Peter now that I canceled? But I'm like, son of a bitch. This is how it happens. But then I look at it this way. Well, there's only 4 guys they're going to make from that video game. The 2 Peters, Miles, and Venom. They're not going any further than that. So it's like, all right, that's a whole collection. It's complete. And so I'm like, And Miles is growing on me so much as a character that I'm just like, Hot Toys Miles would be pretty dope. So I'm like, I'm just thinking about it. The Venom was, I had the points. It's so good of a deal. Listen, for 20 inches, I thought that thing was going to be like $600 or $700. It was 4 and change. And I'm like,
that's pretty good, really.
That's the price of the Iron Man. All the Iron Men. You know, come on, Brady. All the Iron Men are like that price. Brady, come on. It's, so, but yeah, that's where we're going with that. There's a lot to collect. There's gargoyles, there's turtles, there's just everything constantly. And right now, I'd just rather have the money in my pocket.
Yeah.
I'm going to roll the dice. It's a year or so away. It's not something like I totally regret, like the Mondo Battle Cat. Not backing that was stupid. That was dumb. That thing's going to be $1,000 if I want it. Like, there's no way around it. It was $499. It's going to be $1,000. I've already seen some of the pre-orders, like on eBay. I'm like, yeah, I missed the boat on that. I saw the sail barge on one.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, if you don't know what you don't know, right?
Yeah, and it's like, I can always get Panther, but like, he's going to always feel incomplete without Battle Cat. It's going to be weird. Like Skeletor's on Panther with She-Ra and He-Man. And Adam isn't on Battle Cat. So I'm like,
Damn it.
Yeah, so I don't know. But there's just so much, and there's G.I. Joe, like G.I. Joe is constantly hammering land, sea, or air all our pre-orders. Like, it's just nuts. They just never stop. So, but yeah, and we're also going to get, I don't know if you heard Daniel, but we're also going to get more Spider-Man animated retro cards.
Oh, that's cool. I'm happy for that. Like, I've definitely slowed down on them. I think the only one I really need now is Craven, and I haven't really been hunting from that hard.
Ha ha ha. Did you see what you just did there?
I did. I'm not going to lie.
Did you try to do that, or was that a happy accident?
That was a happy accident. I wish I could tell you that it was deliberate, but no, that was a very, very happy accident.
Good. That was good. But yeah, so I gotta say, like, we could talk about New York Comic Con. I was very disappointed in reveals because there really wasn't anything. But I was just very disappointed with all the brands, pretty much. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I was just trying to think. Like, I don't really know what was revealed because I don't seem to remember paying attention to anything. Yeah. So I think that kind of tells you what I thought about it, I guess.
Yeah, it was more about comic books, which is good because we got to remember where these things all come from. But I expected Marvel to have something. Like, they had this Wasp. Why didn't they reveal her there? Like, I don't understand what Hasbro's doing right now. Part of it makes me feel like they're trolling the fans. A little bit.
Like, might well be, really. Like, you've got...
When Jericho came back and he didn't say anything for a couple of weeks and he just come on and go, yeah. And everyone was waiting for him to, like... This was back in 2012, mind you.
Yeah.
And before your WrestleMania, before your WWE time. And, like, that's what it feels like. It's like they know what we want, but their timing is so weird. It's like, oh, they expect us to do this, so, yeah, we're not going to do that today. You know what I mean? It's just weird. And, honestly, I think I have HasLab fatigue. I think I do.
You have what?
HasLab fatigue.
Yes. Sorry, I didn't quite catch what you said. Yeah, it's
to be a knockout of the park for me to order it.
I mean, obviously, my track record with HasLabs is I haven't ordered one yet, and I wonder if the Sentinel had have been. Cause I don't even know. I know it didn't do it for me at the time. I don't know if, again, space issue was always going to be a thing.
That thing.
But I think between space and just generally the cost of them too, to make it to where I am. How much was the Sentinel? It doesn't even say it anymore.
$349.
It was $349, yeah. So I think if it had been $249, I would have been much more likely to be all over that. But yeah, it's, again, fantastic. It just wasn't. It was primarily a space thing, so it would have been just on the floor somewhere, and that would have been destroyed by a cat at some point.
So I got to ask you, if they reissue, like if they do a best of HasLab and they reissue the Sentinel, are you going for it?
Probably not. Again, space issues, right? Like between space and everything else, like it would be, I wouldn't have anywhere to put it, that I wouldn't want to spend the money on it and then have it fall over and break within a few days, because my cat does get up on the shelf where all my figures are.
Okay.
And it's easier to not spend the money on that and then him break it and then get angry at him, when I can just, you know what, I'm happier to spend the money on something else.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what if they add a nice shiny new Wolverine?
Even then, I would be more likely to try and get the Wolverine on the aftermarket.
Okay, I hear you. So yeah, but it's HasLab fatigue.
Now, if it was a 12-inch Sentinel, that'd be different. But I think it's honestly, it's because I think 12 inches is the right scale for those giant figures next to the Legends, because again, for me, it's a space thing. They're not super huge.
Well, you can also look at it, right? You can look at it like they could be the Sentinels in the arcade game, you know?
Yeah.
I think 16 inches to 18 inches is like, for me, I always like big.
Yeah, of course.
You know, I'm definitely a size queen when it comes to toys. But I would say, 18 inches is a totally good Sentinel.
I agree. Yeah, no, I agree. Because this one was what? I actually don't know what the size this one was. I just remember it being
26.
Yeah, see, 18 I think would have, 26 and a bit. Yeah, 18 would have been, 18 and cheaper would have been more my speed.
Yeah. So I'm just like, okay,
Especially because I would want to army build the fucking thing, and having multiple ones that size would be excessive.
Yeah, I think if they reissued it tomorrow, it would sell.
Oh, I'm sure it would. Like, I'm absolutely positive it would sell. Because I'm sure there's a lot of people who, unlike me, didn't back it and regret it and wish that they had have backed it.
Yeah.
So I think if they reissued the Sentinel, it would go real quick.
Yeah, if you put it up for cost and you put it up for like 20 days as a special thing, it would sell. And I think, honestly, that's what they need to do. If Giant Man fails, they must have the molds for the Sentinel and everything. They need a W. I would just do a best of HasLab and just...
Yeah, like Galactus is still too new, but I think the Sentinel you could sell it, and the people who didn't get it, or people who had weren't in a place for it, want more. You can army build a Sentinel. You can't army build Galactus.
No, exactly.
And again, like I've said it numerous times, like if they reissued that Sentinel as master mold and then had the smaller ones, or reissued the Prime Sentinels that came with it.
Yep.
That would also print money.
Well, think about it this way. And I'm thinking about the logic of the HasLab again now, too. They're like, oh, yeah, people who want to buy, 2 Giant Men for the different faceplates. And, yeah, but you didn't buy 2 Galactuses for different faceplates.
No. You don't buy two Galactuses for the Doomhead and the Fate and the other one. The difference is, though, is that with the Giant Man faceplates, it is arguably a different character.
Yeah, I know, because of the Skrull. But honestly, it's a stretch. They're really hoping.
Oh, I'm not arguing with you. I'm just trying to justify their logic of why they want to. But yeah, I'm not saying it's not a stretch.
Yeah. So pivoting I don't know unless there's any more toys you want to talk about.
I think we've circled the drain on that one, so we'll just keep going back around the HasLab.
Yeah. So no HasLab. We're done. Prayers and thoughts to the HasLab. See if it funds for all you people out there who really want it. I do want it, but I'm going to wait for it. I'm not worried about it. This isn't a FOMO. Hey, my buddy calls me FOMO Joe. We'll see how much
FOJO.
We'll see how much FOMO Joe has because I ain't backing this thing this time.
The thing is, if it doesn't make it by one,
yeah,
they would just then back it, right? Like that's the thing. If it was out, we're 3 or 4 shy, they would just quietly fudge the numbers.
Yeah, of course. And I mean, even if I think that it was short by 100, they would extend the deadline or something.
I wonder about that because they did.
If it's short by 100.
Yeah, I wonder where the gray area is that they're like either extend the deadline or fudge the numbers or whatever, because the Rancor was less than 1,000 shy. Yeah. So is 500 the thing where they were like, you know what, we'll fund it at this point?
It's got to be a close margin of like a maximum of like 200 or 300 maximum.
Yeah, I was thinking like 1 or 2%. That's what they would be looking at rather than X number of X hundred, because the Engine of Vengeance had a different backing target than Giant Man and so on. So
close.
They were never. That was never going to be fudged. But
Sorry, you hear my little monster in the background.
He's going. It's funny.
Yeah. So it's pivoting. Like thoughts and prayers. I hope the Giant Man funds for all of you guys. Hey, if they extended it by like 2 weeks, I'd fund it because then it would be much more easable time frame for me. Because I'm out, I'm no longer paying for 2 places. Totally cool with that. But right now, it's just not in the cards. It doesn't work, and Venom is just so cool. So but pivoting, and I have wrestling on in front of me on pause. Wrestling news. So Phillip Brooks might be showing up tonight.
Oh, is that tonight? I didn't know. I didn't realize Survivor Series was tonight. It's in Chicago, right?
It's in Chicago. It's not Survivor Series. Survivor Series is in November.
What is on tonight?
Impact Wrestling made CM Punk an offer.
Impact Wrestling?
Yeah. That's where he was on the original TNA pay-per-views, the weekly pay-per-views years ago in 2001.
Didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. That's where I first got introduced to him, and then I saw him on Ring of Honor.
Is Impact Wrestling even on TV?
Yeah, but I forget what network. I think it's like Access or something.
Okay.
So it's in Chicago. I don't think he'd be a long term. I think he'd be like a come in, do a run in, and make a big pop, and then help Impact leave type of situation. I don't think they could afford him long term at all. They could afford like a Sasha Banks deal with him, where Stardom gave her like 3 or 4 matches, something like that. But they could never afford like a year contract with him.
No, I wouldn't have thought so. Because he's $1 million plus a year, I would assume. He's 1 or 2 million a year.
Yeah, if not 2. But also, Ace Steel is got signed by Impact Wrestling behind the scenes. So Ace Steel and Punk are best friends.
It would make I can see him coming in for a little bit.
Yep.
Because that would also then throw people off if he is going into Survivor Series at WWE.
Well, where it is, WWE doesn't want him. They don't need him.
I would agree with that. I don't necessarily think they do.
They don't. It's overkill right now. LA Knight's on the rise. You got so much going on. They don't really need him.
And I mean, Seth Rollins has publicly gone on record as saying, stay away, you cancer. So
yeah, he doesn't like Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins doesn't like him at all. Roman Reigns don't like him at all. Triple H don't like him at all.
Yeah. Now Triple H would sign him for business reasons. Like Triple H, I think is that kind of guy. But when you've got at least 2 of your staff, and I say staff, but stars, actively saying, I don't want to work with him. I'm not going to work with him. There's not. you know, what do you do? Do you prioritize one guy who has, and I really enjoyed Punk when he was in AEW before the shit hit the fan. Do you have one guy who broke his foot jumping into the crowd?
Yep.
Right. Who has known locker room tensions with a lot of people? Or do you keep the two guys who are, well, one guy who is arguably holding up your company and the other guy who's the biggest draw in the company? And I say that because Roman Reigns,
he is the biggest draw.
When he appears, he's the biggest draw, but he doesn't appear enough to be considered like, if I was going to go watch, you know, I would say Seth Rollins is doing more for the company in terms of having an ongoing championship than Roman Reigns is.
Currently right now, but Seth Rollins needs to drop that title ASAP.
I think if Roman Reigns or if LA Knight was facing Seth Rollins,
he would win it.
Crown Jewel, I think the outcome would be in doubt.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. I'm really enjoying the review, but I just watched that last night. They're doing the contract signing between LA Knight and Roman next week. Yeah, but it's like it's a known thing. I don't think they have the balls to take the title off Roman like that.
Could you imagine though if they did?
Yeah. No, here's the thing though. It's not like The Rock coming in for one night. LA Knight is a future star. Mm-hmm. They got finite time with him because of his age. But I mean, age be damned. He looks amazing. He still can go.
Yeah.
He's so hot right now. I think this is a case of, I know they want to make him go for something big and show people that he's world contender. I think you're going to kill him if you fucking job him out to Roman.
I don't know, because Cody Rhodes was fine.
True.
Right. Kevin Owens lost to Roman. He was all right. Sami Zayn lost to Roman. I mean, Sami Zayn was never the same kind of over as LA Knight, from what I understand. He was just the underdog.
He was the underdog, but he was over in Montreal.
Oh, in Montreal he was, yeah.
He's Lord. He's God. And looking back, again, this is why I'm very happy, Matthew, you're not on, but you're 100% right. Putting the title on Sami Zayn would have been a cheap pop, and it wouldn't have had the effect that this is having long term.
No, I don't think so. I don't see Roman losing the title unless it's at WrestleMania. Yeah. Because at this point, Roman losing the belt it's going to be like the equivalent of, it doesn't matter who he loses it to, it's when he loses it. And he's only going to lose it at WrestleMania. So if I was booking it, and from a business perspective, if I was booking WWE for the next year, and I know that I'm trying to court Saudi investment, I would absolutely have Roman Reigns drop the title at Crown Jewel.
At this point, I would.
Because we're all expecting him to lose it at WrestleMania.
Uh-huh.
If he drops it at Crown Jewel, goes back through the run, right, and then he sets up a 3-way between him, Cody, and LA Knight, and then Cody takes the belt at WrestleMania from LA Knight by pinning Roman.
Roman drops at Crown Jewel. Like, man, you can't beat that publicity. Like,
no, dude, exactly.
Roman's on a 3.5-year run right now.
Mm-hmm.
Mania will put him towards 4, almost 4. It'll be 3 3/4. Like, LA Knight, you can make him in one night, pun intended, doing that drop.
Yeah.
And you freshen things up. Because listen, I love the Bloodline story. It's my favorite thing that's ever happened in wrestling. But it's running its course. It's definitely running its course. Because, Roman doesn't appear enough to keep it going. It's kind of like when he appears, I'm like, oh yeah, he's still champ.
I, as a very, very casual fan who doesn't follow it all that much, I consider Seth Rollins to be the champion because he's defending it consistently. I think what's happening is Seth Rollins is the number one. Then you have Gunther, because with his run with the IC.
Right. Yep.
And then somewhere you've got Roman, who comes in every now and again to win a match with interference. That, like, if Roman Reigns is on a PPV or a PLE,
yeah,
it's not enough to draw me in anymore because I know he's gonna lose or he's gonna win. He's not gonna lose. Yeah. Right. Like, why am I gonna watch something like, oh, Roman's here? Like, is it gonna be a good match? Nah.
Yeah. Oh,
I mean, what? Yeah. No, sorry. Is it gonna be a good match? Absolutely. The guy can go. Is it gonna win the same?
Wait. Why don't you change that? Is it gonna be a good match? Yeah.
Okay, so is this one going to be a good match? Yeah, but in general, is Roman Reigns going to give me a good match that I'm going to enjoy watching, even though I know the outcome? Maybe. It depends on who he's going against. And having watched him on and off, the last few pay-per-views, main events with him I've seen, he's won by interference.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if. It doesn't, to me, it doesn't matter if the person is.
Matter if he wins by interference.
I was like, how many wrestling things can I get into this segment without meaning to? It doesn't matter if he wins by interference. If the other guy is meant to be coming out of this just as strong as he was before.
Yeah.
I don't honestly care. Like, until it get, I watched WrestleMania 39, and I honestly hoped and thought Cody Rhodes might actually take the belt from him.
Oh, me too.
I really did.
But in the end, I'm glad because Cody's story is more engaging now. Brady. I gave my dog peanut butter on a cap of peanut butter. He fucking just destroyed the cap. Like, I was like, I heard a crack, and I go, peanut butter doesn't crack. I'm like, oh, shit. I come in with blue pieces everywhere.
Oh, shitty.
But yeah, no. So here's the thing, though. LA Knight's one of those rare opportunities they have right now where Roman's not lapping the roster on people he's beat.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you don't let LA Knight win it, you're going to hurt him a little bit. I mean, yeah, he'll get it back. He'll get his swagger back. Maybe he'll go heel, come to Raw, beat the shit out of Seth Rollins and take it. I don't know. But I think you should have saved this. Like, I know you want to do something big for the Saudis because you always do. And but I don't know. Where this doesn't have the same, I'm not worried about LA Knight winning at all because it's not Logan Paul where Vince McMahon was in charge, and I'm just like, oh, Vince's going to do this for the cheap publicity.
He's crazy. If LA Knight wins, I think it's a good thing.
I think it's a good thing. If he doesn't win, I still think it's a good thing because you're going to have Cody finish his story. Cody needs to finish the damn story. And I like the idea. My buddy pointed out, Danelle, he's like, dude, Cody losing at WrestleMania was smart because it's Cody's version of Hard Times that his dad's storyline he did. The redemption storyline. I'm like, shit, I didn't even notice that. And that's probably what was planned.
Yeah. I really hope Cody comes in at number 1 or number 3. Within the first 1, 2, or 3, he comes into the Rumble.
Yeah.
Because if he comes in at 30 again and Gunther fights his way up through all of it.
Yep.
Right? Like, I would much rather see Cody go. Say that again?
I'd have Gunther win the Rumble.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Like, if he comes in at 30, there's no reason he shouldn't win the Rumble.
Yeah, Cody doesn't need 2 Rumbles to get to Roman.
No.
Have whoever wins the Rumble go for Seth's title.
Yeah, because if you had Gunther go for Seth's title and take it off him.
Yep. While he's Intercontinental Champion too.
Yeah, and then he just vacates the belt. He doesn't even continue to defend it. He just vacates it. Then you can have, if you really wanted to, you could have LA Knight go against, win a tournament or something.
I think LA Knight will be champ, but it'll be sometime in 2024.
Agreed.
It won't be right now.
I think I can see him taking the Intercontinental belt, not necessarily from Gunther, but in a vacated tournament. And then all of a sudden he's like, hey, Gunther, we never finished up. I never got a chance to prove I'm better than you.
Yeah. Now, can I also say a booking move I hate? 2 booking moves I hate so much right now.
how they're booking MJF currently, this roster. I mean, he got his belt back finally.
Did he get it back?
Yeah. Oh, well, I saw him beat up Jay White at the top of the stage.
He beat up Jay White at the top of the stage, but I think Jay White low blowed him at the end and got it.
Oh God! Fucking stupid Tony! What are you doing? It makes him look so weak. Like it's
I like the fact that he tried it and then he's like, I'm not going after him. It's 4-1. That would be stupid.
No, I like that. But still, come on. He's the champ. It was good for a week. He should have came out the next night and just jumped Jay White in a mask or something, in the devil mask, and just took it back. But like, you make him look so weak. And do I think Jay White's beating MJF? No, definitely not.
No, I think if Jay White hadn't taken the belt, I could see him taking MJF. I could see him legitimately winning the belt.
Yeah, same. The fact that they let him walk around with it for 8 weeks or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
6 weeks shows me that, you want to hold the belt, you get to hold it, but you don't get to keep it.
Yeah.
The only way I could definitely see Jay White taking it from, I don't even know when Full Gear is. That's how much like AEW's been losing me a little bit lately. 18th or something of November?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. Survivor Series, I'm so stoked for. Crown Jewel, I'm stoked for. Because Logan Paul versus Rey Mysterio, I'm very excited. Give Logan Paul the U.S. title. Give it to him. Give it to him. Give it to him.
Yeah, I can see it working because it would draw him in to be making him a bit more permanent for a little while if he's got to defend it.
Give it to him. Just give it to him. You know? And then the booking that I didn't agree with, I went tangent on my own tangent to another tangent. This is the point I was trying to make. I am so saddened that the Judgment Day are champs again. Not that I dislike Finn or Priest, but come on.
Are they champs again?
Dude, they won it back on Raw.
I mean, that's how much I don't know about this.
Yeah, they beat Cody and what's it called? Cody and Jay. Oh, that was such a good pairing. Like
it was, but I think it does kind of, it gives Cody another belt. It gives Jay a title run with someone that isn't his brother. But at the end of the day, that was never going to be a long-term plan if you're going to want to try and start building Cody up.
It was a cup of coffee. Like, come on, man. I would have liked to have it for like a month or two. But anyways, that I didn't like. Wrestling's good with WWE right now. It's on all cylinders again. Like, it kind of lulled from August to September. And now it's just like they're just throwing shit and it's just fire. You know, once they brought The Rock back the day after TKO became a thing, dude, and then they brought Cena back and Cena's here like consistently. Man, they're really, really doing it. Triple H is the best booker in the world right now, I feel.
Yeah, he's doing a fantastic job.
And I love NXT. I love Ilya Dragunov as champ. I heard a rumor that Ilya Dragunov will beat Gunther. I would love that.
I could see that.
That's history right there. The two of them. Oh, he's so good.
And I think in real life, Gunther would love to lose it to Dragunov.
I think so too. You know, Scott Steiner. I mean, not Scott Steiner. Braun Breaker. Close enough. They're missing their window with him. They better shoot him up to main roster soon because they're missing their window with him. Like, I don't know what they're going for down there. He's not like Carmelo is the contender again to go against Dragunov. I'll be pissed if they take it off Dragunov to put it back to Carmelo. Dragunov deserves a nice lengthy run. And yeah, okay, last thing. I'm sorry, I'm just like tangenting because I'm looking at the YouTube. Jade Cargill. Matthew can say whatever he wants. You can say whatever you want. Oh, Matthew agreed with me. I'm sorry. You can say whatever you want. Dude, they are building her up to be a massive force, and she hasn't even wrestled yet.
It's probably because they're trying to make sure. It makes sense to build her up to be a massive force because she would have an audience from an AEW standpoint, and to get her on screen, make her presence known.
Yeah, but she's been on with Charlotte, with Becky, with everybody.
Right. So like she's on there to get the presence known. And then thankfully they're actually making sure she gets some good developmental time, because that is what WWE are good for, is making sure people are well trained, or at least know how to do the specific match they're about to do.
I think she's going to have her first big feud at the Rumble. I think they're going to hold her off till the Rumble. I could be wrong, but I think
she could come in and do like a
run-ins and stuff,
like a Jade Cargill special squash match here and there.
Yes, I could see that. But I mean, her first like marquee match is going to be at the Rumble, I think. I don't think they'll make it as early as Survivor Series. I think Jade Cargill needs a little bit of time behind the stage to season in ring. Yeah. Because that's the one component that wasn't super clicky with me in AEW. Her character is fantastic. I love her character. I don't care what anyone says. I think she's got that everything factor. But the ring work needed some polishing for sure.
100%. Yeah.
Cody in the Nightmare Factory trained her. Not Cody, but PT Marshall. He trained her. But Cody also was instrumental in helping her. So now she's got Cody to lean on a little bit. I'm sure they're doing stuff behind the stage, and that sounds terrible. I'm sure.
I know what you mean. You know that they're training her behind the scenes.
Yeah, that's what I meant. They're training her behind the scenes. But yeah. So I mean, a lot going on in the world. Trying to think of any. Oh, I mean, there's obviously other things that we will not talk about on this program. I don't feel that this is that forum for anything. I just want to say thoughts and prayers to that situation. I don't even want to mention the situation. I just, if you know, you know. I don't think this is the forum for it. I debated on it and I'm like, no, because I wouldn't be able to do anything justice. And I don't think, unfortunately, I don't think either you could either. So
probably I actually don't know what you're talking about, and I'm not going to ask you right. No, I'm not going to ask you right now because I'll trust your judgment on it.
Yep.
So I
don't want to talk about something. It's probably pretty heavy. But
that's what I mean. Like, I'm trusting your judgment on like whatever it is. I'm sure it is what it is. Yeah, I actually don't have much else to go.
Me either. I feel like we've kind of hit the limit where we're scraping the paint, so to speak. But yeah, no, we've covered everything. The only thing left is Rhode Island Comic-Con is in 2 weeks. I do believe we'll be getting an episode to promote them next week, maybe. But also, we want Matthew on for predictions for Crown Jewel.
We should touch base with him.
Yes, and that's in 2 weeks. So that's the same weekend as Rhode Island Comic-Con. It's Saturday.
What day? Oh, okay. Is it Saturday?
Yeah, it's always Saturday. WWE, that's a brilliant thing, too. I love the move to Saturday pay-per-views. Saturday pay-per-views are so much better than Sunday. Sunday, it's like, I know that they're traditional, but I like the Saturday pay-per-views because I don't have to worry about, going to bed at 11. I mean, 1 o'clock in the morning. Thank you, Tony Khan. Every single time. That guy has no respect for anyone's work.
Oh, I mean, the thing is that if you're in like the UK, you're used to waking up really early for a pay-per-view anyway. Yeah, for me, like I would. My friend said to me, like, "Hey, do you want to come over and watch this?" I'm like, "No." It's not that I don't want to watch it with you. It's that I don't want to be up to 2 a.m. on a Sunday night, Monday morning, and then work. So it's that more than it is anything else.
And All In was a treat. I loved it. Full Gear is not shaping up to be anything super special to me.
Not yet, but again, we say that every time.
We do.
Yeah. Anyway, so we're gonna go back to topics you've already covered.
We're not gonna go back to topics. So yeah, we'll be doing a Rhode Island Comic-Con preview probably next week. And I think that's it. Thank you for more tangents than usual, ladies and gentlemen. It's all over the place, and
yeah,
wouldn't have it any other way.
Oddly on topic for us too, or at least on brand. Oddly on brand.
On brand for sure. But yeah, that's it for us. Catch you on the next one.
I think on brand tangents is going to be the title.
Perfect.
I just ruined your ending. I'm sorry.
Are we still recording?
We are. I don't know what I'm doing. Turn it off.
Hey, thanks for watching the previous video from Graphic Policy Television. Just by watching, you help support our site. Thank you so much. Now, if you're watching these videos, you probably care about geeky things like movies, television, comic books, toys, games, video games, you name it. You can go and subscribe right now to our YouTube channel to stay in touch and catch all the new videos, or check out our website at graphicpolicy.com. There's a nice link on this end of the video. But as always, thank you for watching. Keep on rocking and keep it geeky.